You're tuning in to the Black Hollywood Live Network, featuring news, interviews, and commentary on all things Black Hollywood. Hollywood redefined. From Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is Black Hollywood Live, This Week, featuring news and commentary on This Week in Black Hollywood. Black Hollywood Live, Hollywood redefined.
You're listening to Black Hollywood Live.
And now, the host for Black Hollywood Live This Week, Dario Kristen.
Hey, what's up, everybody? You're watching Black Hollywood Live This Week. I am your host, Dario Kristen. Here joining me is Courtney Stewart, who looks like she should be in a beauty hair ad today.
She's up, everybody.
Also, DJ Jesse J, who's getting his Soul Train dance line on right now. He is on one on this Friday.
He didn't give me that cocktail.
Because I wasn't here last week.
Oh, that's what it was. You had a little
So I
break.
had a lot to say.
So you got a lot to say. That's right. We missed you last week, man. I'm glad you're back.
Well, I was robbed, y'all.
That's right.
That's true. I was
That's
like,
true.
well, yeah, you
It was not a happy
robbed,
Friday
huh?
for you last
Not
Friday.
a happy Black Hollywood Live Friday.
Oh.
But that's all right. It is
But
this
you're back,
week.
and the
I'm
world
here.
is
You're
still
back.
turning.
You're back. The world is still turning.
As the world turns.
As the world turns.
Oh, I got the
And
wrong
you start
turn.
off dancing, and you know who else is dancing? Is J-Lo, because she is one of our topics today, because she is in Vegas.
Say what?
That's right, she's doing a show. Shonda Rhimes shuts down Twitter critics again.
She does.
Again. And I won't even get into last night's episode of How to Get Away with Murder. And then we also have the revealing of an autopsy for Michael Brown, and it was leaked, actually, so there's a lot of drama surrounding
a
that.
whole lot of
A lot of mess.
A lot of stuff.
Mess,
But
mess,
first, we're going to
mess,
start
mess.
off with the buzzer meter results from last week's question, which was Snoop Dogg bullying Iggy Azalea? You guys voted. We talked about it a little bit last week when you weren't here, Jesse. We had a lot to say about it. 62% of you said yes, and 38% of you said no.
Over you, 62%. Really?
Right.
They didn't agree with you, because remember last week?
I mean, you don't have to agree with me.
So
I
you
just,
felt he wasn't bullying?
No,
I don't think so
and
either.
I think it's crap. I think they're both, and she engaged in it just as much as he did, and I think it's bullcrap to call bullying on that. You're not 5. No.
Like Snoop Dogg, every day people put memes of him when he dresses in that white, as the white guy, and they put memes of him as like someone's auntie, like when your auntie does
You're right,
that. You
you're
know what I
right.
mean? Like it's fun. It's
I mean,
instant.
okay, you know, initially I started off on the defense of saying that
Yeah,
it
he
was
was all like,
bullying.
yeah, she
I was like, it was bullying. I
She
agree with the
was
62%. But then
big
once
black man
Courtney,
bullying the white
right,
woman.
the big black man, right? No, but then once Ashita, who was our special guest host last week, and Courtney were talking, I was like, you know what? People make fun of people all the time. You have a joke. It's a difference between a joke and bullying somebody. Now, I did think he took a little bit far when he started throwing in the Nicki Minaj gonna come, whatever he said, come beat you up or come to your house or get you or whatever it was. But I mean, you know, they were going back and forth, so
well,
she
I
indulged in
mean-
it too. So you know, it is what it is.
Whatever.
But clearly, the
We'll
voters
talk
don't
about that.
believe what
They don't.
believe that.
But there's more there.
There's more there. We'll
apparently.
be talking about that today. And I want to remind everyone to go to the buzz meter question for today and vote as well, which is, do you think the word ethnic should be retired?
Oh, God.
I know one word I think should be retired, and it begins with an N. But you know,
jeez.
all right. But we'll.
And this is off of Zoe Saldana's comments
Yes.
of why we asking y'all this question. We're gonna talk about
We're
it.
going to talk about it, but you
We
guys vote
gonna
yes or no, and we'll read those results next week. Now we are up to the trending topics with DJ Dancing J. That's what we call
Hey,
you.
Dancing
all right.
Jay.
So, how to get away with murder? Last week, not this past week, but last week.
Yes.
Had a really interesting scene with one of the gay characters on it, where he cheated on his romantic partner and got into this sexual scene with this other gay man. And Twitter came to kind of be a little upset about it. They said the gay scenes in Scandal and How to Gay with Murder are too much. There is no point, and they add nothing to the plot. So, Shonda saw that tweet, and she felt like she needed to reply. Now, first of all, before we even do that, nothing to the plot. If you watch the show, there was a specific reason why he did what he did. Okay, but Shonda's
I'm
came
leaving
out
my
to say,
comments for the end.
Shonda came out to say there are no gay scenes, there are scenes with people in them. If you are suddenly discovering that Shondaland shows have scenes involving people who are gay, you are late to the party. If you use the phrase gay scenes, you are not only late to the party, but also not invited to the party. Bye, Felicia. #OneLove. I love all you tweeples, even the ones who still need to grow. And remember, at some point someone discriminated against you too. I don't know why this kind of hate is out there. Oh, hashtag one love, at least in Shondaland.
Hashtag you can't sit with us.
Bye. What y'all thinking?
I mean, you know what? I agree with Shonda. I mean, at this point, if you haven't watched any of her shows, or if you've watched any of her shows, you've seen these type of scenes before. So if you watch any TV at this point, you should have seen these scenes. So I don't even know why you're even tweeting about this at this point. If you have, everyone's able to express their own personal feelings about this, but it is what it is. I mean, why even express something like this on when you watch her shows? And this is just part of her shows. So just don't watch her show then.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, that's really
If
all
that's
it
your
comes down
opinion.
to.
Yeah. Because it ain't gonna stop.
My thing is, can we just, sometimes not make all gay people whores on TV?
Well, I was going to just say that,
That's just my only personal thing with it.
admittedly, obviously this comment was not
About that.
about
Right.
whatever. But the point is I think that it is a little bit jarring and maybe gratuitous in most network shows that come on a little bit. Like, I don't necessarily think that the sex is totally needed every time that it's even
Yeah.
in Scandal.
Right. Yeah.
Like, whether it's a gay sex scene or it's a hetero sex scene, whatever. But, and if that's what your issue is, then okay, that's an argument. But I guess on the devil's advocate side of it, it is new for network television to have that in our faces in a way that it hasn't been before. And the reasons that it hasn't been before is because people weren't accepting of it.
Right.
So I think it's a learning curve. So I think it's fair, sort of, I guess, that
For people
that
to-
people are expressing that whoever these people are, but it shouldn't be a surprise at this point.
I'm just
It's a
like,
matter
the
of-
first episode, the bitch was getting slammed against the table.
Right.
I mean, like, you wasn't jarred by that.
I was more, I'm just jarred in general by the sex, and maybe that just is why.
Right. And I mean,
Maybe I was
obviously,
proved,
I mean, sure,
like-
maybe these shows.
It's not just the gays. I mean, like, they're all
It's all
beating
right.
cakes all over the place.
Right.
Like, it's not.
Right. I mean, sure, maybe for some of these shows, it's more of a shock value, so they take it a little extra.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
It does kind of feel like that.
But I mean, you know what? We're at a society right now where you got to be a little shocking for people to pay
I'm
attention.
so upset about Huck and what's her face Quinn having sex on a car last season. At
Right,
the end of
exactly,
the season, like
yeah.
I'm still disturbed by that. So I don't. It's not just. I mean, I think it's just sex in general. It's like way
Yeah.
too much of it.
Wow, okay, new topic.
All right.
Okay, whoa, scene in my head.
Y'all hot and flustered over there, Jesse.
Not hot.
It was
Just
not
flustered.
hot.
Yeah.
It was not hot. I'm sorry. I love the
okay.
show. Oh, I loved it. But yeah,
I felt
anyway.
like the car was hitting a dead deer. Just kidding. So, to our buzzometer question: do you think the word ethnic should be retired? So Zoe Saldana came out and she's basically, talking about how difficult it is for people like her in the industry to get, kind of get work, and she wants to really help the Latino community because she feels like there isn't enough resources out there for them in
Right.
Hollywood. So she came out with this statement. I cannot wait until the word ethnic is erased from our everyday vocabulary. In America, everything that's not American is ethnic, but outside of America, everything that is American is ethnic. So in reality, there's no such thing as being darker or lighter, when in reality, you've just been this way your whole life. Unless you're comparing me to something, then I'm always going to be taller, smaller, skinnier, bigger, or lighter, or darker.
Okay.
So my question is why should we get rid of the word ethnic, girl? Because that really doesn't explain why we should get rid of the word ethnic and how it harms anybody. Because my thing is, I think a lot of people get ethnicity and nationality confused.
Right.
My ethnicity is Greek because that's where my family comes from. But my nationality is American.
Right.
So I consider myself a Greek American. I think that there are things in this country that Greek Americans do that outside of this country Greeks don't do. I don't know. So it's just confusing to me, and it's weird. And it's like, girl, stop trying to be Raven.
Well, I was gonna say this is a continuation to the Raven Simone conversation of the no label thing. I mean, that seems to be, like I said and voiced in my opinion before. I feel like a lot of celebrities are into just the no labels, and it gets a little confusing. And especially, I do agree her justification for taking away the word, I'm not really sure that defines a reason to get rid of the word ethnic. But I mean, I could understand if she was saying that everyone should be under one umbrella in the sense of like, you know, we're American. If you're European or whatever, you're European. If you're American, you're American. But we're all the same. But she's not even saying that to me. It's like she's also saying I want to have a separate category for Latinos and I want to do things for Latinos, but yet you don't want to use the word ethnic. So I'm a little confused by it.
Me too, girl. And I read that quote multiple times.
Me too. Yeah, I was trying. I wanted it. Yeah, I wanted it to make sense. Yeah.
But I just fell on the side of Zoe, I love you, but that didn't make no damn sense, like at all. Like I get. Okay, it's great that you want to like make opportunities and not be pigeonholed based on being ethnic. So I understand that that's the perspective she's coming from, which is actually kind of interesting and awesome to hear from someone who has been so successful that she still feels that sort of pressed down. Because the average, I would assume, white American or non-ethnic American, I don't know what the proper term would be, wouldn't see someone who has had the success that she's had and think, oh, well, you're getting held down because of your ethnicness. So it's good, I think, that she's speaking about it and like wants to make opportunities more available for the ethnic. I can't say ethnic, so I don't know what to call it.
Yeah,
for the brown people, like I mean, I guess that's what you're going for, but I don't understand what the point of trying to get rid of the word. Wouldn't it be the hatred or the prejudice from the word?
Tied to the
right, tied to the word, right?
Because there's nothing wrong with being ethnic.
Yeah. I mean, I think we take the word and can use it in a negative way, which you could do with any word, but the word ethnicity, I mean, is something that you should be honoring. It's something that you should, so. And
I get that, like in casting and stuff, they use it sort of how they use urban now to describe they want a black person. Like they call them urban. So I get that in terms of a description. Maybe that's what you meant. Maybe she meant in breakdowns, I don't want to see ethnic woman as a list, because they use ethnic woman.
They do use that.
For breakdowns, those who don't know, actors get, a list of
and that's
roles
a wide
or whatever,
range.
and it'll say Caucasian, white, and then ethnic will be if they want a person that's not white.
Yeah.
So we're all lumped in one category. We're ethnic, we're Asians, we're Pacific Islanders, whoever.
Well, what's your take, real quick, on no labels, though? Like, what do you feel?
Well, I don't have an issue with labels if we were more inclusive with our labels. Like, I don't care if you recognize that I'm black. Just recognize that me being black, it makes it actually okay for me to act in a scene with a white person or be in a lead with a white person. Like, that's all. The point is inclusion, not that I want you to deny what you see when you see me.
Or to when you hear that label doesn't mean one box.
No.
That label could mean a whole bunch of different boxes, but it puts, it categorizes certain things, but not to put people in a certain box. Right. I don't know. But, girl, I mean, at least you're trying to do something good, so
I guess.
Shout out to you.
I really hope that was completely taken out of context.
I'm sure
and
it was.
But it was reprinted in a lot of places just like that, so I don't know. But
and honestly, there was a lot of other parts of it, and I mean, it just still
didn't really make it sounded like she was trying to, whatever. Anyway.
Well, I know she has a deal with one of the studios, like Lionsgate.
Like she wanted something in the
She was doing something
to be.
I don't know.
Well, maybe she has a whole new, different perspective on things, so she has a baby, or about to have a baby.
About to have two babies, and they're going to be ethnic, but not ethnic, because their daddy is white, so or Russian or something.
Russian or something like that, yeah.
All right, moving on from that, we got Keegan-Michael Key and Jordan. Is it Peele or Pele? Peele. Mm-hmm. Well, these two mofos, not only are they working on the new revised Beverly Police Academy reboot.
Oh.
Which I can't wait.
That'll be hilarious.
I didn't realize that's what they were doing.
Yep. Well, they're working with New Line on that. And apparently New Line loves them so much that they're actually just signed on to produce their own first movie. Now, no details have really come out about what the movie is going to be. But basically, a rep for their show basically came out and said that it's called Keanu, and it centers around a kidnapped cat and is set to start production next spring. That's all we know about the movie.
That's
Sounds amazingly ridiculous.
So
they're funny.
Like it's going to be
hilarious. I think
a White Castle type movie, and I'm kind of excited.
I'm all right with it.
Yeah,
I do too.
Great.
I do too.
Shout out to
congratulations to them.
Can't wait to see that.
They're making moves.
People.
That's right.
Making their own movie.
Right. That's right. So we all should strive for.
I want to be ethnic just like them.
Well, I'm going to be ethnic on Monday because Love and Hip Hop's going to be back on, y'all.
And we know that's ethnic.
Okay. That's a couple other words. That's thoughtfully ethnic. But if you guys want to check out that and more, because Real Housewives of Atlanta is coming back, you guys know AfterBuzz TV is our sister site. Make sure you guys check us out. We are an after-show program, after-show network for your favorite TV shows. As soon as the show's done, make sure you tune in to AfterBuzzTV.com, and we'll be there talking about it with your favorite cast members.
Cool. Thanks, Jesse. Now we're going to move on to the hair model, Courtney Stewart, who's going to give us our gossip and rumors for the day.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Black Hollywood Live. Okay, gossip and rumors this week. We have J-Lo, guys, and guess what? She is probably going to Vegas. Now, it's not, the signatures have not been signed on the contracts, but she is in talks with Vegas at the Planet Hollywood, where our love Britney Spears is doing her stuff, to do a residency at Planet Hollywood, making some $350,000 per show for 72 shows, which means over the course of 2 years, J-Lo's gonna make $26 million.
Not mad at that.
Which is top dollar and higher than what Britney Spears was making when she has done her residency in Vegas. But
That's
apparently
a
people
rumor.
are super excited. That's the rumor. I mean, we don't really know exactly how much Britney was making. There's sort of reports on both ends. Celine Dion is actually right around the same range as what they're offering J-Lo. But Mark Anthony, J-Lo's former husband, actually did a show in Vegas. He only did one show because he only wanted to do one show, but he got $700,000 for that one show, but then the whole deal was worth about $1 million for one show.
So I heard that J-Lo's can't put all this information out, and then the numbers came out, and Britney Spears makes $1,000 less than Celine Dion, and J-Lo's contract is going to actually be $310 versus Britney's, what, 346 or 3?
Well, they were saying Britney was around 340
50.
something, and that's why J-Lo was at 350 supposedly.
And so because Britney did so well within the first month, they upped Britney's price up. So now J-Lo is lower. So Britney.
Well, I don't know, but like some people are really. Okay.
I think J-Lo's going to give a better show.
Really?
Yeah,
I
I
don't
mean,
think she's going to give a better show. I think a lot of Latinos will go to see J-Lo, and I think that that's genius. And I actually kind of feel like they should keep Britney and J-Lo performing at the same time and make Vegas this young, hip place where you can, like back old
not a
school
bad idea.
Vegas, where you could see Frank Sinatra and all the celebrities and all the stars had
All at
homes
once,
there.
Yeah.
Genius.
At the same place. Interesting. I don't know. I thought it was. I think J-Lo's great to look at, and I
so
watch
do
her.
I.
But I started thinking, like, I don't really care about any of her
Let's
music.
get loud.
but she's a
And
good performer, though.
I don't care, but I don't care about any of her songs. Like, I can't think of one song that I'm like, yeah, I gotta go see J-Lo perform.
Yeah, but I
that.
think she's one of those people that when you do go see her, you start to realize how many hits she actually has, and you're
Really?
sitting there. That's what I think.
Okay, I do think,
think so.
that. I do think that. I've been to a J-Lo concert. I've been to a Britney concert, and I obviously am a Britney fan. And I'm a J-Lo fan too. I own all of their albums. But there's just something magical when you go see Britney. When you see J-Lo, there's no magic there. She's a great performer, but there's no magic there.
And I never like to hear
In
her
that
sing.
sense.
In fact,
Personally.
the only time I wanted to hear her sing was when Ja Rule was growling over her. So I think it'll be exciting, like if she has like guest spots and like Ja Rule comes out and they do some old songs together, and then Pitbull comes out and yells and raps over her a little bit. But like I don't ever want to hear J-Lo.
I mean, it's not about her singing. She's.
Well, that's the thing,
I'm
like,
not mad at
look
her
at
shaking
her.
her booty and doing the,
I'll be glad
dropping
to
the trunk
see
a little
whatever
bit.
costume she puts on, but
But they've been saying that Britney's been giving mediocre performances.
But that's because we all have Britney at a certain standard of what she was capable of doing before.
Yeah.
And we all know she's not that anymore. It's sort of like expecting to go see Janet Jackson and expecting to see Velvet Rope or Rhythm Nation. You're not going to get that. It just doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
So,
Not with that last tour, girl.
Yeah, not with the last tour.
but I would
Still
go
love
see
you,
Janet
Janet.
in Vegas, though.
Listen,
see,
I would,
go
too.
see that.
I would.
I would
I would
go
too.
see
surprised that has not.
Me
come
too. That's probably next, though.
above.
I hope
That's
so.
probably next.
See,
She
I feel
should
like
just-
they're going after these young stars right now. But actually, J-Lo would be right there.
I mean, J-Lo works. I'm not, like, mad,
I mean,
but I'm not, like...
Janet would be right there.
I think
in
Janet
that
would be
age
great.
group.
I think they would be fun together. Anyway, there you go, guys.
All right.
Hopefully, we'll get some announcement of some dates real soon, and you can go to Vegas and see J-Lo. Okay.
Going from that happy topic.
Yes.
know.
To lollipops
How did I end up
or
without water?
pudding pops.
Okay, so Bill Cosby's back in the news, guys, and basically this comedian by the name of Hannibal Buress did a stand-up act in Philadelphia, and he made a joke around the knowledge of Bill Cosby having raped multiple women over the years. And this is I mean, I don't know if it's a big surprise to some people, but I mean, it's been out there sort of that he's done this for years. And the joke sort of brought the story obviously back to the forefront. Back in 2006, Cosby was in a big civil lawsuit. It was led by a woman named Andrea Constand, and she, and along with like 12 other women, eventually like came after him, obviously for money. He settled out of court quietly. Everything was signed, and non-disclosure agreements were signed. So we don't know for how much. We don't know what the terms were. We don't know anything. They're not allowed to talk. But it sort of brought this whole thing back to the surface of why is it that we let Bill Cosby get away with rape, along with multiple other men in the industry who have been accused of sexual assault, like Woody Allen and CeeLo. Even Tupac was accused of rape at one point, etc.
Do you think it's because his family image, because he's, you know, the Cosby father, and
I mean, sure. Okay. Well, this
he
is my
really
personal
give,
opinion
like,
with it.
rapey
It was. They said it was like
He doesn't give
13
rapey
women,
vibe.
I think,
It's
right?
13 women that came forward in that lawsuit.
Yeah. So, but this is my thing. These are still accusations. He was not
He was
charged
never
with
convicted,
anything.
He was never charged.
So,
nothing.
and once again, do not condone rape, but we don't know if these stories are true. And the comic was speaking about this, but he has never been convicted of this crime. So he is a celebrity, and unfortunately, sometimes women have in the past used rape, the word rape, when it was not really rape. And that sucks because there are a lot of women who are raped who unfortunately have to go through a different judgment system because of that. But we don't know that Bill Cosby did this, so we can't. I mean, I saw the hashtags and all these negative replies and tweets that people were saying like Bill Cosby was a rapist and all this. We don't know for sure that that's the case. So these are, once again, accusations that he has not been charged for. And say he did settle out of court, which he apparently did. Maybe he settled out of court because it's easier to settle out of court before your image is tarnished.
Of course, which is why he did it, for sure.
So I hope he didn't do it. I don't know if he did, but it also says to me a lot about the women. If you were raped, why would you? Is money you know that allows you to
that's why you go to
remove
civil,
yourself from the situation?
Well, you go to civil court, obviously, because whatever the criminal court situation didn't work out. So your other avenue is civil court, and to try to get something out of it, which, I mean, can you judge her for that? I don't know. I mean, if it's tough because he wasn't convicted, and but it's one of those things like where there's smoke, there's fire. If this many women came forward, usually,
I mean,
maybe he raped all of them, but
right.
One or two of them might, because the stories are all very similar, where he was drugging them,
and give them alcohol and then drug them,
and they were sort of going to be potential proteges and girls like looking to be actors and stuff like that. So I don't know. It's just awful, and I hate having to talk about it. And in the end, he wasn't convicted. He is not a criminal as far as we are aware. And all you can say is,
stop gossiping.
Stop hanging out with them.
Well.
Like, don't, like, I don't know.
Don't be popping no pills.
I mean, true. But then again, and some people did appreciate, though, Hannibal Buress for bringing it up again and sort of giving him another trial in court opinion, community opinion.
Yeah, because Bill's been so vocal about how he feels about the African American
generation. People are so mad at Bill Cosby for the things that he says.
I don't even know why they're mad. This is like what a lot of old school black people have to say about the younger generation. He's not disrespecting the younger generation. He just has his opinion about how they should shape up.
I'm like, maybe I'm insane. Did I miss something?
I'm like, did I miss a quote somewhere?
I definitely had some crazy moments, like in like nighttime on talk shows and stuff like that, where he's kind of weird. But like in general, like his philosophy has been education and pull your pants up. Like my granddaddy would have said the same thing.
Obama says it all the time.
Yeah, and they make him seem like he's this elitist, horrible, whatever. I don't know. I guess we bougie.
We bougie.
No, the Illuminati just must have kicked him out.
Oh. Oops. Well, I don't know. Good luck.
Good luck, Bill.
I mean, Bill old now, so I mean, at this point, Bill's
I don't know
old.
what to say other than like, okay, that happened, and now we're moving on. Yeah. So last week, obviously, we talked about the Snoop versus Iggy Azalea battle over Instagram. So mad, and apparently, 60% of y'all thought it was bullying. Well, Clifford the red dog. Just kidding. T.I. came on to MTV and he wanted to sort of express, because the word on the street was that T.I. gave Snoop a call and was like, dude, you gotta apologize, come on, man. And T.I. wanted to, like, you know, sort of clarify what went down between him and Snoop. And basically what he told everybody on Tuesday was that I didn't make Snoop do anything, and Snoop, quote, apologized out of the kindness of his heart. He explained that he and Snoop, he immediately knew, said that he knew what T.I. was talking about, because T.I. called him and he was like, I don't want this out. Now that it's sort of become a everybody chiming in an international situation, like he's like, he doesn't want it like that, and that's not good for anybody.
Right.
And basically Snoop was like, you know, don't worry about it, I'll take care of it. And Snoop apologized.
Yeah.
But he wanted to make it clear he did not ask, request, or demand for any post to be put up or an apology to be extended. Snoop did all of that on his own.
Snoop checked him. T.I. probably called Snoop, and Snoop was high as hell listening to him like, brother, you on my phone and you prostituting this white girl. What the hell you gonna tell me about what I'm doing? Get off my Instagram, one. So two, I'll apologize for it because I understand we all need to eat. You need to eat and feed your family. You know what I mean? I just picture Snoop Dogg like that. But my thing is Snoop Dogg's Instagram, I never followed him on Instagram. I sure the fuck do now.
I actually do too.
Hilarious.
It is funny.
And he posts he spams your Instagram.
does.
Yes,
He does.
But it's so fucking funny.
Yeah. It's funny. Which is also why, like, last week I'm like, what is the big deal? He's ridiculous on Instagram in
He
general.
is.
Like, stop tripping. But either way, isn't
Iggy,
it
worry about your
funny?
N-word comment. Don't worry about Snoop.
Snoop, and it was just an ugly picture. It's not like he was like, whatever. We're not gonna
I would have
go
loved to
there.
hear
We
the
talked about that
conversation
last
between
week.
the two, though.
I
between
wonder.
T.I. and Snoop.
T.I.'s like, well, I got an album, dude, so, like, can you back up off? We've got enough press now. Thank you. Good night.
For shizzle. You know, yeah, I would
I
love
bet
it. Yeah.
money. Because didn't T.I. just drop an
Yep.
album?
He
did.
Thank you, Paper Cutter or something,
Yep.
whatever it's called.
And
I
he
forget.
didn't want that negative
Paper
press.
Trail.
Or,
Paper Trail.
yeah.
Sorry, I used to be a T.I. fan, but anyway, yeah.
Sorry.
So it was for album sales. That's what I think. And all you people out there being bamboozled, talking about, oh, this is bullying. Oh my God, we just throw that word around
So easily.
all the time now because bullying is everything. Everything is bullying.
You get into an
now.
argument, it's bullying.
I can't. I'm done. End scene. We're done.
All right. And scene with the gossip and rumors for this week.
That's it.
But if you want to find out more gossip and rumors, you can check out old episodes of Black Hollywood Live this week on iTunes, and you can give us a rating and comment. Courtney also hosts a show called Fashion 401, which this week had Beverly Johnson on. Supermodel Beverly Johnson was
Yeah,
on.
that
You guys
was
should
on.
check out. That was an
Played it.
unbelievable interview. Jesse had Young Berg on the show about
Sure did.
last week,
He was
who's
real
on
interesting.
He was spilling all types of
He
tea.
was.
Love and Hip Hop Hollywood.
Love and Hip Hop Hollywood, talking about Hazel E. Called her Melanie Fiona. I was like,
Why do you call her Melanie Fiona?
girl, he said because it's his 4 a.m. and that's her office hours, 4 to 5.
Well, if you want to know more about those, you can check out those two shows. You can check out episodes of this week. We had Cynthia K. McWilliams from The Real Husbands of Hollywood a couple
Yeah.
weeks ago. She had a lot to say about our topics. We have Phenomenal Women. We have Geek Nerd Tech, all the way down to a show called Breaking Into, which I host, which Nick Cannon and Maria Menounos are producers of. And we just had Dr. Sam Soleil on there, who is the celebrity
Yes.
dentist of the stars, who works on Nene Leakes to transforming
Fixes them
Tyra Banks.
teethers.
So check it out. Give us a rating on iTunes, and we will appreciate those comments and take note to what you have to say about us.
Yep.
All right, moving on to hot topics.
I just want to hang my head again.
Well, she probably wants to hang her head too. Well, she probably was hanging her head. Yeah.
She's gonna take her clothes off the hanger.
Well, our EUR story spotlight of the week. I love that music.
Web story spotlight of the week.
Well, about a month ago, we talked about a story, Django Unchained star Danielle Watts, who was caught in front of the CBS building with her boyfriend, whose name is Brian James Lucas, and they were allegedly having some sexual intercourse in their broke-down Mercedes, which was sitting in front of CBS in Los Angeles. Well, she went on record to say that she thought it was racist, about how the cops treated her and her boyfriend. I don't know if you saw any of the videos, but she was definitely in a hysteria, crying, and just had a lot to say about how she was treated from the police. Well, a report just came out this week that she and her boyfriend were both charged with 1 count each of lewd conduct. The charges stemmed from the episode In the Car, in which
The episode.
I'm going to call it an episode
Sounded
because
like one.
it sounded like
is
one.
this picture?
I love the picture that you have, real kumbaya right here. But yes, it happened there, and now both face a maximum of 6 months in jail if convicted. They have a $1,000 fine apiece, and they're saying now that it's just a misdemeanor, not a felony crime. So the arraignment is on.
So she was just sucking his dick. They weren't having sex.
I listen, all these alleged things.
Things.
But according to
So it was
TMZ
a
in the
hand job.
pictures, yes, is the case or the answer to that question.
Dry
She was
humping.
hanging out at the top. I'm so confused.
Yeah, I don't even know. Yeah, they had some. Yeah, they had
He
a
was
lot.
scratching her carpet.
He was scratching some carpet, all right. But the arraignment is on.
I'm so mad at the girl in the back of this picture looking at them. Like,
Yes, right. If you go to BlackHollywoodLive.com, you can check out the image that Jesse put up of these two, and there is this random woman walking next to them as they seem to be in some yoga type sexual position randomly in a park. It looks like.
Why?
But yeah, so now this is what the couple had to say. They made a statement this week.
Release a statement.
They did release a statement,
on.
and it was a long statement.
It's
So bear
our
with
free
me.
will.
This is what they had to say about the charge against him. We are quite frankly appalled and disturbed by the LA prosecutor's office that they have chosen to file these charges against us. The LAPD has previously issued a statement saying that there was no crime committed. If a passionate public embrace while displaying no nudity is grounds for having charges filed against you, then we expect that everyone who engages in a public display of affection with their loved ones will be targeted as well. Now, Sergeant Parker is still under investigation for conduct, and filing misdemeanor charges against us does not change his behavior. That's what they had to say.
all right, girl.
Now, what do you guys think about this charge against them?
I'm putting some positive vibes her way that maybe this was all a misunderstanding, which I'm just thinking it may not be. But, and I hope you get this cleared up, girl, because I'm more ashamed at that. I mean, Quentin Tarantino's probably like, this bitch. Because if you type in Django Unchained actress,
That's what pops
the
up.
only bitch that pops up is
Yeah.
this bitch hanging out the hood of a car. Like,
Yeah.
you done ruined the whole movie, girl.
It
'Cause
still
you
goes back
couldn't
to my
keep it
point,
in your
though.
pants.
If they are going to find a place to even have a really intense makeout
Outside
session, why are you going to do
CBS?
it right outside the security guard's office at CBS? You know what I mean? Like,
I mean,
did you
clearly,
leave an
like, they
audition and
they don't care.
they clearly don't care.
Girl, bye.
Girl, and get a bra.
Bye.
And I'm gonna be honest with you. When I
Bye.
looked
So
at some
rude.
of the like the footage of them on CNN when they were doing some just questioning, it looked real shady. Like she started kind of babbling about some stuff that I just didn't feel
Like
like
she
she was
might
even
be
telling the
on
truth.
something.
Yeah, it seemed like I mean I'm not saying she was, but it seemed like she could have been.
Who is it? Andy Cohen. Every time he calls out like Jewish people that be doing stuff, that he's like, it's not good for the Jews, y'all. It's not good for the Jews. Girl, it's not good for the black girls.
No.
It is not good. I don't know what you did. I don't know. You did enough that they charged you.
And
like they had enough evidence to charge you with something. That
Yeah,
don't
that's
mean
what I'm
you.
saying.
That don't mean you guilty. But they got something on you because they charged you.
Listen,
Boo.
just pay that $1,000
Just go
fine
home.
and keep
It's
it moving.
Okay.
Get a bed.
Keep
Now
it
she has been
moving.
consulting with lawyers, so I'm sure this is not the end.
Get some tinted windows,
this.
maybe invest in a slightly better car that you can't see, and maybe an SUV, something with some
Yes.
really dark windows.
And don't park in front of CBS or
if
any
you're
lot
freaky like
or
that.
any network
there's
studio.
parks. You could park in front of a park in the dark.
Yeah.
I just wish Mrs. Django Unchained actress a
Mrs.
very good
Django
life.
Yes. Hopefully you get roles after this. Or
I can't
or
believe-
porn.
I'm so
Maybe they
mad.
could do a porn.
Oh.
Maybe that's what she's
Dang,
trying to
it's
do.
gotta
Maybe
go to
she looks like a
porn.
Mimi Nico from Love and Hip Hop Atlanta.
Please
That's what I'm
stop.
saying. That would make
Please
sense
stop.
though. That would make
Please
sense.
stop.
Django really unchained.
Unchained.
I'm appalled.
No, they're gonna call it Mandingo Unchained.
So appalled.
No, this is the swirl right here.
You're right.
He looked like House.
He does
the
look
guy
like
from-
House right there. He does.
House meets
All right.
Django.
For more of that story, go to
Django's
eurweb.com.
house.
I'm sure this is
We
not the
don't
end, and
want
we'll hear
any more
about
of the
it.
Story. We want the
It's
story
not the
to
end.
go away.
It's not the end. It's not the end. All right. On
I'm so done.
Chain your punani up, girl. We don't want to hear about no more. Sorry, let's go because they're gonna keep
Yes,
coming.
they're gonna keep coming. On a more serious
She
story.
didn't have no panties on. That's how it happened. Or maybe
See
the
what
panties
happened,
was on the
girl?
sidewalk and they were like, see?
That's why laundry day's
the
important.
cakes was
y'all.
out. They
The cakes was out. All right. On a more serious note, we have a story about Michael Brown update. Apparently, this
say.
week, an autopsy report was leaked. The autopsy report showed several things that were contradicting to what was previously done during an autopsy for Michael Brown. As of course, we all remember, he is the 18-year-old Ferguson, Missouri teenager who was gunned down by a police officer there. The leaked autopsy suggests that Brown was shot at close range and may have been reaching for Officer Darren Wilson's his gun during a heated battle between the two. Now, there was an autopsy that happened before this that was done on the request of the family, and this report actually had said that Brown's wounds had been 1 foot to 30 feet away when Wilson shot Brown at a distance that wasn't considered close range. Now, this autopsy had been leaked to the St. Louis Post-Dispatch as well as the New York Times, and this is kind of actually helping Darren Wilson's case because it's suggesting that Wilson's claims about him being attacked by Michael Brown are true and that it was all something that was a fight between the two at a closer range. Now, something that this story just kind of continues on, some of the eyewitnesses, they say nearly half a dozen of the eyewitnesses have said that an initial altercation at Wilson's car broke out and that Brown fled and then Wilson chased him and started firing. They said that Michael turned around with his hands up and then he was fatally shot by Darren Wilson. So I don't know really what to believe right now, especially with the contradicting autopsies. And now, this is starting to make things get into a lot more uproar again in Ferguson, Missouri, because they just had a big protest again yesterday. Several people were arrested. They said that the protesters went to the police station, were throwing rocks and trying to, really justify, their reasonings for this protest. But I think this thing, just when you think it's starting to get a little bit in control, it starts to get out of hand again. But if this is the evidence, what do you guys think? Because it does seem like they're now alluding to that Darren Wilson was the person in the right.
I mean, from looking at that picture, that looks to me like, why was he shot that many times? It looks like, to me, like he had gone on his knees and was still being shot at. That's what I get from looking at the picture. So I don't know what they are assuming off of that, but that's just what I'm looking at. I just don't see why anyone should be shot that many times. So that's just the question that just keeps coming in my head, because if you're a police officer, you're trained to take somebody down without killing them. That looks like you went a little trigger happy.
Absolutely. I mean, I think it was 6 shots, they said.
Like in 1, 2, 3, 4, or from the neck
up. Yeah.
That looked like he was trying to kill somebody.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how to justify that with just a scuffle between the two, Courtney, what do you have to say?
I just don't understand, okay, first of all, excuse the language, but I knew it was going to be fuckery when they said there's going to be 3 different autopsies.
Right.
The parents got one, the county got another, the FBI got one.
Yeah.
We knew there would be fuckery because of it. The idea that this, we are this far along in this process and, it's leaked. It all sounds real shady, real unprofessional, and it sounds like and I don't know who was in charge and who got it leaked or didn't leak it or whatever, but it just sounds like a way to make it that it's going to be impossible to charge Darren Wilson with anything.
Yep.
Because what's real, what's true has been so mucked up.
I agree.
Nobody's gonna know, and
then
in the end you can't really fault him for it at this point, because Darren Wilson's situation, you don't want him charged without it being fair and due process, because that defeats the whole purpose of our justice system to begin with. But then if it's purposefully being mucked
tainted
up, but then the whole idea of them bringing in outside people or whatever was to keep it from getting mucked up. So I don't, maybe there's some miraculous comeuppance that's going to happen in the next few months, and it's all going to make sense and it's all going to be fine. I just feel sorry for
his family,
Mike Brown's family, because there's just no. There doesn't seem like there's going to be any getting out of the mess that this has become.
I just don't know how there can be 2 totally different extreme autopsies like this.
Extremely different.
Extremely different. That say 2 totally different things.
Which, and I know
at close range and 30 feet away.
Well, when they said the first one, he did say it was possible that a shot was closer or something, because based on how it went in and came back out, I don't remember. But I do recall him saying it's possible that it wasn't super far away.
Right.
But I do think it's strange that there was enough eyewitness testimony to support a certain, and I get it if like they was all friends, like it was the friend and like two other friends that were right there that are giving the same story, but the girl in the window told the same story, somebody on the corner told the same story, and I understand that eyewitness testimony is not the most reliable.
Yeah, they're saying some people were uncredible, so.
Well, uncredible, but they seem to have found enough, more than
I
one or
agree.
two people that seemed credibly saying the same ish, and they weren't in cahoots with each other until after. So I don't know. Good luck.
Why are we talking about credibility when we have 3 different autopsy reports? That don't seem credible.
And I get the parents like wanting their own because they don't trust the state to do
Absolutely.
what,
I mean,
which is
with reason.
I just can't even like wrap my brain around them like completely lying about a report and then leaking it, because what a mess. Like, I don't even know what else to say. It's just a mess.
It is.
Well, and you know, it's unfortunate because now we're in a state where you don't know what to believe. We can't believe our police anymore because there has been so many things that have just been, you know, not the honest truth, you know? And so now we're looking at where there are these different autopsies, and then we're looking at all these different eyewitnesses, and I just feel like this whole thing is getting screwed up. And I feel like there's just going to be so much back and forth that he's going to get off. You know?
He's not going to ever get charged. Like, they're not going to be able to, like, get enough together to say something specific to be like, okay, we have the ability to prosecute. Like, because the evidence is all over the place.
Yeah.
But maybe there's stuff they're keeping from us that we don't know, and somehow that this actually will make sense in terms of the other one, and I don't know. So maybe like he thought it was 30 feet and he thought it was like 1 foot, so really it was like 5, and
right, usually
that
the truth lies in the
made sense
middle.
with him sitting on the floor, and because how did he end up face down like in the middle of the street if y'all were fighting
If
in
you're
the car?
fighting, right.
Did you like
There's a
drive
lot of
off
holes in the
and
story.
then walk back? So I don't know. It doesn't make sense.
Evelyn Lozada says, there's a lot of holes in your story.
It's a lot of holes.
A lot of holes.
All right, well, moving on to our last subject of the day. We all have been excited about the Blackish television show on ABC and how much praise it's getting. Well, some people are saying a lot of things about how a black sitcom actually will survive on television. Apparently, an article was posted in the Huffington Post this week on HuffingtonPost.com, and it alludes to the fact that if a black sitcom wants to make it in this industry, it has to be careful about how it talks about race relations. According to Dr. Alvin Poussaint, a former script consultant of The Cosby Show, there's a lot of Bill Cosby references today, he says there's just one rule of thumb when it comes to talking about race on television, and that is better not do it too much, because a lot of people will turn it off if you're trying to send them a message. He also said when asked if it was possible for a sitcom to become popular and to talk about race more than an occasional kind of joke here and there, he said yes, as long as the show makes fun of itself completely. And that's why he says that he feels Blackish actually has become more of this new sitcom phenomenon because of the fact that they are making fun of the black world and kind of black issues. Now, he said, he went on to say that Blackish is towing the racial line cautiously. The show creators are careful in not making white people feel like it's them being attacked. What do you guys think about this and about his comments about the state of the black sitcom in the world?
I think that what he's saying makes sense,
Sure.
especially in the sense of trying to teach people.
Yeah.
My thing with teaching people, I feel like I can't just tell you about yourself, so I'm going to tell you about my experiences and make fun of myself, and I think that kind of takes the guard down on people, off of people, so when
makes
you're
them feel more
giving them
comfortable.
this information, they're more accepting of it.
Right.
So I mean, I understand that formula to it, but at this day and age, I feel like, if we should be able to be having these types of conversations without it being too scary and, being afraid to really go there. As long as we do keeping it light and keeping it happy, but you do have to have that serious tone because it is a serious topic that needs to come out as a discussion.
Yeah. Courtney?
I mean, I guess they're doing it right because they're doing pretty well from what I
Number
can tell.
one, right?
I'm not like, I followed it and I didn't increase in my pleasure from the pilot as I had hoped, but there's still time. Obviously, they got a full season order now, so they'll be here till the spring.
Yeah, they're calling it the new best sitcom
Yeah.
on prime time right now.
I mean,
You said, yeah,
It's not the new bad. I mean, I don't necessarily know that there's a better sitcom that came out this season, so maybe that's an accurate, description. I'm glad it's doing well. And I think it's in terms of what it's supposed to be about, sort of the core of what it's about. I think it's a legitimate conversation that we should be having in this day and age, and I think they're doing a okay job doing it without pushing too much. Which, obviously, on my end of it, it might be a little more interesting if they pushed it a little bit more.
Yeah.
So I think, obviously, he's speaking from a place of knowledge, and it makes sense, and it's working. So there you go, guys. Don't push the black too hard.
The show is kind of very cookie cutter, and I think that's why, because I feel the same way. Like I liked the idea, and I enjoyed watching the episodes, but they didn't like move me in any way.
Right.
Like it didn't really like suck me in, or I was just watching it to watch it because it was on, and it made me chuckle a couple
And
times.
it is a comedy. Like,
It
it's
is a
not
comedy.
supposed. It'd be different if it were a drama trying to address these issues. And if it were a drama trying to address these issues, I don't think it would make it.
Right, and
It's
that's
like
he
Everybody
does say
Loves
that later in the
Chris, the
article.
Wayans brothers, like those shows. Like when I watched the episode, I was in the episode.
Yeah,
This
right.
show, I can fall out of it.
Yeah.
Well, the article also talks about, there's several articles around it, but it also starts to state about how the days of like the Jeffersons and Good Times and what's happening, like those 70s, 80s black sitcoms, how the sitcom of today has changed, because those sitcoms did take on
They talk
those
about
heavy
some
issues, some dark
some
issues,
heavy stuff.
Yeah, and then and people still watch them, and they but
It'll be interesting to see them reboot those.
but they said that actually the Cosby Show is what really changed the dynamic of those heavy issues turning into more lighthearted, funny issues. Because they were saying how on the Cosby Show, you never really dealt with a lot of things about race. They use an example in an article about how Claire Huxtable at the time, one of the episodes, she had gone in for a lawyer's job, and that it was alluding to the fact that the reason she didn't get the job because she was black, but they never really talked about it or specifically went in on that issue. And so they said that kind of the Cosby Show was the staple that changed the dynamic of the 70s sitcoms that had those tough issues to everything being lighthearted. So there's that. I think a lot of times, even now, they're comparing Blackish to like more of a Cosby Show, updated Cosby
But
Show.
we also have to put that in context to what time period these shows were in. Like, what's happening now
In the
and Good Times in the
70s,
70s, like
when
that was a
people
very
were-
different culture.
True, you're right.
And we as black people were in a very different place in that time than when Cosby Show came around, because when Cosby Show came around, we were just looking for a show that showed that, guess what, we don't all live in the hood, and we don't all do, it was just giving an opportunity. So the real message of the Cosby Show was that
We're all the
we
same.
could be just like everybody
Everybody
else's
else, yeah.
family.
Yeah.
So I think that was the strength of their show, which is why they didn't have to dive deep into Claire not getting the job here because she was black or that, because that wasn't the point of the show.
Yeah.
The point of the show was we exist in this space also.
Right.
So to come to now, we're in a different place too, but I think Blackish...
We're in the no labels.
Well, that's the thing. I was just going to say, like, I feel like Blackish really is sort of the example of where we are. Like,
True,
this
you're
idea
right.
that we want to kind of be like, it's not really an issue anymore. Like his wife, Rainbow, like, oh, they don't see race and she's fine with it and it's not a big deal. And like, he's struggling with the fact that it should be a big deal. And that's sort of actually where we are. There's
right.
so many people like Zoe Saldana telling us we don't need to be ethnic. So being ethnic is bad. So like,
Or we're
I get it.
American.
Right,
It's
we're
an
American.
example of where we are right now. So whether or not it'll actually address issues of race in the country, I mean, I guess we shouldn't be looking to our entertainment to do that.
Yeah, and no shade. But I just don't know about those actors touching on those subjects. No shade.
Yeah,
I'm
but I
not
feel you.
trying
But
to say
listen,
shady.
the only thing I have to say though, I'd rather take this than some of the reality TV programming that I'm seeing right now, and the way that
period.
things are depicted on there.
Reality
So,
TV is trash.
At least this
trash.
is it's making it's talking about the issue in a lighthearted, making fun kind of a way. But at least the issue is I can relate to it
Yeah.
because we all can relate to these storylines.
Yeah.
So
I would like to see a drama version of Blackish that makes it.
right, and
Because then there's a balance. You know
there's
what I'm
a
saying?
balance,
Like
yeah.
you're sort of doing it in a way that isn't so deep, but then there's a way to do it that is deep. And if we're gonna have art explore what culture actually is, and then we should do that
yeah.
too.
And I know that there's
girls.
But it'll never get ratings
no, because I think
because we're
people.
still too racist.
Yeah, I was gonna say we're still racist. That's
That's
exactly what I was
the
gonna say.
real-
People aren't willing to accept
We
it yet.
love it, but nobody wants to watch
They want to
that.
act like there's no racism and everything's lollipops and flowers, but it's
are
not the
fine to
case
vote for Obama, but
Yeah.
they do not want to
not
have to
want
sit
that.
and look at that.
at all. All right, well, that concludes our topics
they
of the
are.
day. We want to know what you guys have to say about that
Right.
topic, too, with Blackish and just the state of the Black sitcom. Tweet us, Instagram us, put something on Facebook. Let us know. Ask us some questions. We want to answer them. We'll bring it back on the show and talk about it.
Call Daryl.
Call me. Just call me.
Daryl.
Call me.
Holla at him.
Call me. All right, so
Find him on
Courtney,
Tinder.
where can we find you on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter?
Where can everyone find you on Tinder?
You'll never find me on Tinder.
can
But
we
you
find
can
you on
find me
Tinder?
on Instagram and Twitter at Stuart Starlet.
Jesse?
DJ Jesse J.
You can find me at Daryl Christian on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. I also want to remind you to go to the BuzzMeter question, which was, do you think the word ethnic should be retired? Yes or no? We will read those results next week.
We're always trying to retire a word. Like,
Always.
6 months ago it was bossy. It's bad.
Have a great weekend.
Bye.
From producers Maria Menounos, Dario Kristen, Tiana Hobson, Kevin Undergaro, and the entire BHL crew, we would like to thank you for supporting Black Hollywood Live, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. For questions and comments, contact us at info@blackhollywoodlive.com. Like us on Facebook, tweet us or Instagram us at BHL Online. And I'm your BHL announcer, Scipio. Instagram me at Planet Scipio. Thank you for tuning in.
Hollywood redefined.
The views expressed here are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.